ask whether the president has made a decision on keeping the scope of Space Force.
Wow, Space Force. It's the plane of today. It is an interesting question. I am happy to check with our Space Force point of contact. I'm not sure who that is. I will find out and see if we have any update on that.
The United States fully supports this funding, and that as legislators, we support it, and we believe that there's overwhelming support in the House and the Senate, and this will get done. It includes a package that provides the weapon systems that Ukraine has indicated that they need. Also, I know this group and others in the House and the Senate are very big proponents for longer range weapons being provided to Ukraine because of the needs on the battlefield that we're seeing evolve.
Ukraine, because it's also in America's interest to do so. For less than 5% of our annual defense budget, we have helped Ukraine ensure a stable and prosperous Europe.
The House Speaker is hinting he may not bring up the Senate's newly passed bipartisan foreign aid package for a vote.
The Republican-led House will not be jammed or forced into passing a foreign aid bill that was opposed by most Republican senators and does nothing to secure our own border.
Speaking at the White House briefing just moments ago, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan saying he plans to brief congressional leaders on a, quote, serious national security threat, but he would not elaborate.
Mike Turner, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee here in the House, has asked President Biden to declassify information on what he is calling a serious national security threat. And what Mike Turner says is he wants the president to declassify that so that he can share more information with members of Congress and with our allies. Now, we don't know exactly where that threat is coming from. We don't know the nature of it. This is the statement here on your screen that Mike Turner sent out. Today, the House Permanent Select Committee has made available to all members of Congress information concerning a serious national security threat. Now, what I have been told from some members of Congress here is that he has opened up what is known as a SCIF. That is a room that is secured. No cell phones are allowed inside. And members of Congress, as I'm talking to you now, in small groups or individually are going into those SCIFs, and they are being made available the information at least that we have. Is it all of the information about this threat? We don't know because, again, Mike Turner is asking President Biden to declassify more.
Shortly before you came out, Congressman Mike Turner issued a statement saying that President Biden should declassify intelligence related to a, quote, serious national security threat. What can you say about the threat and what the administration plans to do?
So first, I reached out earlier this week to the Gang of Eight to offer myself up for a personal briefing to the Gang of Eight. And in fact, we scheduled a briefing for the 4 House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow. That's been on the books. So I am a bit surprised that Congressman Turner came out publicly today in advance of a meeting on the books for me to go sit with him alongside our intelligence and defense professionals tomorrow. That's his choice to do that. All I can tell you is that I'm focused on going to see him, sit with him, as well as the other House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow. And I'm not in a position to say anything further from this podium at this time.
It was a rare, alarming public statement. One of the handful of members of Congress with the most access to America's secrets warned today of a, quote, serious national security threat. Congressional leaders have since described it as a, quote, serious but not urgent matter. Still, the warning rattled Washington and beyond, as U.S. officials at the same time worked to find at least a pause to the war in Gaza.
2 officials confirmed to me that Russia recently showcased a new capability in space. Jeff, that is what this threat is all about. Russia regularly has space launches. You see one right there. And the officials describe that Russia recently launched a new anti-satellite capability, meaning a satellite that can attack other satellites. The officials tell me that this satellite, which is possibly nuclear powered, has an electronic warfare capability to target American satellites that are essential for U.S. military and civilian communication. Now, that public statement that you just referred to right there was from Mike Turner, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. You see him right there. He is a voice for stronger national security, especially for Ukraine. The Intelligence Committees had this intelligence about about 2 to 3 weeks ago, according to the officials I speak to, and they say that while it is very, very important, it is not in any way imminent, as we heard Speaker of the House Mike Johnson admit today.
Last month, I sent a letter to the White House requesting a meeting with the president to discuss a serious national security issue that is classified. I want to assure the American people there is no need for public alarm. We are going to work together to address this matter, as we do all sensitive matters that are classified. And beyond that, I'm not at liberty to disclose classified information and really can't say much more.
No public alarm, Jeff, but clearly a concern that the U.S. has had for a long time about Russia's anti-satellite capabilities is clearly much higher with this new capability.
And I love your ears.